here with Homeschool and Life, and we are so excited to bring you another video. Today we are joining up with the Link Up hosted by Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way. They do it once a month, and I just think it's so fun to see what all the other people are doing, talking about the same topic. So lots of new ideas are shared, new inspiration you're able to get, and also just see what other homeschoolers are up to. So April is digital homeschool favorites, things we use digitally, which if you're homeschooling, you're probably doing something digital.
Yeah, in this day and time, there's something.
Yes. I held off for a long time. I was like paper and pen, but we have most definitely reached a stage in our homeschool where we are using lots of digital products that are enriching our homeschool, and I'm so grateful for them and that somebody developed them. So looking forward to hearing what you're using, and we are going to share what we love. So you want to share one of your favorites?
Sure, I will start off. So one, it is a subscription that we have used for several years now, is Reading Eggs. It's been a big hit in our house. We've used it since probably my third was in kindergarten, first grade. It's just a great program that helps with reading, and in the subscription is also included math seeds is what they call it. And so it's math and reading. You can use it as a whole curriculum. It can be a complete, like they have lesson plans and everything on there for phonics. I think the math side as well, but particularly what we've used is the Reading Eggs portion the most. And actually my third was, just taking a little bit longer than some of my others have to grasp all the phonetic skills and reading and stuff. So I wanted to add something that was fun to his day. And my younger one at that time, of course, is always following along, listening, osmosis, picking up on stuff. And I really attribute him learning to read so early, barely 4 years old, to this program. He picked up a lot, plus listening, and he asked to start kindergarten at 4 years old, to start. He wanted to learn to read.
Do you pay for that one? Is it a paid one? Okay.
Yes, I believe. I'm not sure how much it is now. I'm sure it's changed. We actually just dropped it because my youngest is it goes all the way up though until about 13 years old. They have reading comprehension, vocabulary, it goes all the way. And so we could have kept it. We just weren't utilizing it as much, so we did drop it. And I would say it's about $70 a year.
$70 a year?
Yeah.
I was just thinking, we don't use Reading Eggs, but my youngest is seeing everybody else on their, whatever technology thing I'm letting them use, and he doesn't, he does his Bible study, the Jesus Storybook Bible and technology, but they see other people using it and they want to. I'll think about letting him do that.
It's very educational, and we've tried some different ones, different programs, and they seem to like this one the best. So it was
I've never done anything digitally with phonics, so good to know.
It's a good program.
Well, jumping off to digitally, if you need extra help, I had one who was really struggling on learning their times tables. And you have to know your times tables to do any of your extra math. When you're getting into your long division and when you're getting into word problems and you're doing all these things, if you don't know your times tables quick, it's just gonna be frustrating for the child. And so we did all kinds of things. I would make him write his times tables 2 times every, the sixes, he'd write them twice and then repeat them to me, and then for a week, and then we would do another one, and it just he was still struggling, bless his heart. So my husband actually found this app, and we pay for it, and it is so cheap. It is, I can't even tell you how much it is because I can't remember, because it's not very much at all. But it's called Rocket Math, and I'm sure there's lots like that. But you as the parent, you can go in and program what you want them to work on. And so obviously we did the multiplication tables, and it's only 20 minutes a day, and they just have to hit it and time it and do it fast. And when they finish, the rocket shoots up and they beat levels. And I am happy to say he knows his times tables front and back now, and it wasn't a burden. There was no more tears. It was not stressful anymore. Just getting to do it on the iPad by himself in a fun sort of way. And we're actually still using Rocket Math for him, and he's into division, which is the times tables in reverse. Yes. So it was cost effective and very helpful, and you can do however you want to, but it was beneficial for us. So
That's
we'll link it. Rocket
Yeah,
Math.
I'll have to write that down. We haven't used that one ourselves, and we've done some random math drill apps and stuff. But times tables are hard for kids, like to get those down, and there's a lot of programs out there, so it's good to see. So another one that I'll mention that we have used, and I've heard this a lot on YouTube, is Night Zookeeper.
Oh, I hear everybody say that.
I know, it's a big deal.
Did you check it out?
I did. We used it last year. We used it for 2 years. So the past 2 years, we didn't renew it this year. We used it, and my kids did enjoy it. It was a fun educational app. We would use it on days when we were busy or I had things going on, and so we had a lighter school day. I would pull it out. Sometimes on Fridays, that was a big thing. And it was, it's all like language arts. It's writing, particularly vocabulary, spelling, those things. So my middle kids did enjoy it. We used it, and I think it was a good program. I liked it was more writing focused. So it gave a fun aspect to writing, the creative writing, but there was a lot of prompts and things, and
so did they type it out, like they're writing?
They're typing it out. They give them like, write about this, and they kind of I guess there's different prompts as you go along, so you're creating a story in different ways. And then the games are like spelling, there's like floating thing, you gotta click on the right spelling. There's all different kinds of games. It was more of a supplement, so it wasn't something I was using for, I wasn't standing over them, what are you learning today, because we were already doing our own personal language arts.
So is it expensive?
I would say it's about the same price as Reading Eggs. I think they were both similar in price. And it was like an annual. It's cheaper if you do the annual subscription.
I kind of like that idea because we try to have a lighter day on Fridays, and so it's almost like you're tricking your kids if you're like, okay, Fridays you can just do this.
Yes.
But I do have them double up during the week, so our Fridays are freer. Yeah. But I don't think they've realized that. I'm always like, can you do 2 math papers today?
Yes.
So anyway,
sneak it in there. So, do you have another one?
Okay, yes, this is a big one for me. It's called My Math Assistant, and Lauren is in trouble because my kids did Saxon math for years and years and years, and I was always behind on grading. Yeah. And my kids would ask me to grade it, and I would get 2 or 3 days behind, and the way we did it in our school is anything they missed, they had to go and fix. We did everything to mastery. And so I would get so far behind, and then they're having to fix, 20 problems at once. Not their fault, it's my fault. And I was like complaining about it a lot. And then Lauren's like, you can have somebody grade that for you. And I was like, what? I went all these years. And so I pay $5 or $5.99 a month. It is worth every single penny. So the kids, they still do their math, the Saxon math, on their notebook where I can see how they've worked out the problems, and then they just enter in the answer online, and it grades it for them. It sends me an email. I don't get behind in grading because I can just say, hey, let's go redo this. Like if they make a bad grade, I'll reset it, and I'll say, I want you to redo this lesson. Or if they've missed several, like I sit down and we go over it. And so if you already know about this, I'm sorry, but if you don't, you need My Math Assistant to grade your Saxon math. The best thing ever.
We don't personally use that. I actually let my kids grade their own and then come to me with the missing, what they've missed and stuff. But yeah, I've heard about it and different things.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah. Okay, I'll stick with like the math theme. A subscription that we've used in the past is Dive math videos, and this also goes along with Saxon, and we've been utilizing them this year as well. So they are just the lesson taught in video format, and it's just you used to could get the CDs, I believe, but now it's just online. You subscribe to whatever, so your kid's doing math 6-5 in Saxon, and the teacher will come on, teach the lesson for you, and then they go and do all the problems. The practice problems don't always match up. I guess so they don't want them like copying the answer, but they'll work through some that are similar. So we have used Dive math videos, and I've used online digital math resources a lot. Math is something that I don't personally enjoy teaching. We're different in that area. So I've always tried not in the younger years. I teach my, kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade. Not a big deal. I teach that. But as they get older, we usually will try to outsource that. So.
And I do not outsource it. I want to teach it. I want to have my hands in it. And so I really like teaching it. But I did outsource this year. And I think I have a video, Shoreman versus Saxon. I moved my daughter to Shoreman, which we'll probably do another wrap-up video at the end of the year with her opinion. If you can get Noah to do it too. Anyways, she gets to watch the videos for that. And so Shoreman is worth it if your child, it has any interest in college prep, college trajectory. It's been great. And I pay for that and it's worth it. So that's Algebra 1, 2, Geometry, once you're getting into counting credits. So.
Yeah, they do in pre-algebra as well.
Yes.
So it starts there. So did you have...
Yes, I have these are two are kind of fun, but they're digital. It is Adventures in Odyssey, the club online, and then Lamplighter has an audio club. Now, Lamplighter did not have an audio club when my bigs were young, and so I've purchased every single story that they have. If you have not listened to Lamplighter, I highly recommend it. It's great audio theater, great stories, and great discussions. But I saw where, I guess within the past year and a half, they now have an audio club where you can just pay monthly and have access to their stories, and you can turn it off, turn it on, and even though I own all of their CDs now, I think I will pop in and out of that audio club, just because all our CDs are scratched, and I don't even think we have a CD player anymore. Like, they're becoming obsolete, and just so much youngest can listen to some of those stories. I actually last week, for Valentine's Day, I got on Bluetooth headphones, and so I've been letting him listen to Adventures in Odyssey and Lamplighter while he's cleaning and doing chores. And I don't know, just the conversation that comes out of those, I think it's very good stuff and worth it. So those are kind of fun, but they're digital, and we like them.
It's great literature, yeah. And CDs, kids just tear them up. I mean, we still have, we have our collection and we still use them, and I try to keep at least one working CD player in the house, but it's hard. I just grab one when I'm thrifting whenever I see it, because sure enough, it's gonna break. Yeah.
Well, we tried listening to one of our Lamplighter CDs the other day in the car, and we got to the climax of the story, and it was like, like it was all messed up, and I was like,
it's the worst.
Benefit of the audio club.
Yep, subscriptions are great. So. Okay, to go along with the literature format, I was going to talk about, I'm going to talk about YouTube and some of the things we use on YouTube and stuff. So for us, we use Classical Conversations memory work in our homeschool some through the years. We've never been a part of a community, but we do utilize their memory work. I have a foundations guide from years and years ago and stuff, so we like the history, we like some of the math has been good because they do the skip counting. My kids have learned a lot of their times tables through skip counting. So on YouTube we use, I think it's called Homeschool Helper, and he has all of the memory work to videos. And we've used their app in the past, but we really enjoy his channel. It's kind of catchy music and tunes. So we use that for memory work. And along with that, we also do history videos on YouTube. We do science videos. Anytime we're studying something, we pull that up. So YouTube is a huge digital resource in our house, along with like art tutorials. Anytime we want to do art.
Every day.
Yeah, Kids Art Hub or Art for Kids Hub. I always say it wrong,
so good.
But yes.
We are so thankful that guy does that.
Yeah. So YouTube.
You have to mention
great.
Mr. Betts if you're going to talk about YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you can. You should. You're the one that kind of introduced him to me. So.
Well, we'll link Mr. Betts. He's awesome. He does parodies on history videos, and the kids just eat it up, and they love it. So I'm so grateful that people like that put out those kinds of things. So Mr. Betts is a great YouTube video. And just like Lauren is saying, I would be so lost without YouTube, because anytime we learn something, the first thing we do is, what does that look like? What is that? And we have learned so much neat stuff by being able to just look it up. And she actually told me this. I'm sure you guys are all techie and probably already knew this, but just sitting from my phone, I can cast it to the TV. So as we're doing Book Basket, I can quickly look up something and they get a visual real quick, and then, we get right back on. So grateful for YouTube. So we'll link some of our favorites. And as she talked about the Homeschool Helper, I've used that, but I also did a paid subscription that was so good. I just loved it. It's called Cross 7. I'm not going to say it's super cheap. I think it's $13 to $15 a month. I used it for probably 4 or 5 years, and it kind of goes along with like a story of the world cycle, and you have science sentences, math sentences, the skip counting. It does things to a song. It does a hymn every day. The geography was awesome, and we would watch the videos every day, and it was just so good. But I do have to say, I did have to drop that subscription because, you can't subscribe to every single thing that you like all the time. So we are not using it right now. My kids, it was just really good. So if you want to check it out, I think you get a free trial. And especially more, I would say, if you had younger kids. If you had maybe 6th grade and down, 5th grade and down, they might enjoy it a little bit more. So it was really good.
Yeah. Another thing that we utilize all the time, and this is not a subscription, this is a free digital thing, is 𝐓𝐞𝐥𝐥 and 𝐓𝐿𝐵. Yeah. So audiobooks as a homeschooler, read aloud, all these things are a big deal. So 𝐓𝐞𝐥𝐿 and 𝐓𝐿𝐵 saved me so much. So if we're in the middle of a read aloud and I'll just, like we're driving one day, I will just look it up on 𝐓𝐿𝐵 and 𝐓𝐿𝐵 and we'll listen to the audio and stuff. So, and sometimes we just listen to audio for fun. My kids have their own library cards, and this is usually, 𝐓𝐿𝐵 and 𝐓𝐿𝐵 are through your local library. I think this is nationwide. I think everybody uses it. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure about the 𝐓𝐵, but I know 𝐓𝐿𝐵 is pretty popular. And so it's the resource through your local library branch. So these are free, but what's on there is what's available at your branch. So not everything you want will necessarily be on there.
And one of them has better selection than the other one.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back and forth. That's why I like utilizing both, because if it's not on one, I'll go look on the other. And sometimes it's not on either, but most of the time I can find it on one or the other. So we use that a lot. My older kids use it a lot as well, just for their own free reading. So.
Well, we actually had to go and get another library card this week because one of my children you only get 5 or so.
On 𝐓𝐿𝐵, you only get 5. Yeah.
And she was taking up all of them, and I was like, okay, you've got to get your own card now.
We had to do that as well a while back because of one of mine.
Do you ever use Audible?
We have had Audible subscriptions, so I can mention that too in the past. My husband specifically, because he's a huge reader, especially audio, because he travels a lot for work. Car. He's in the car a lot. So we have used Audible, and so we have a decent amount of audiobooks in our account. Even when he would have extras and he didn't have one he wanted, he would just tell me to pick one out for homeschool. So we like Audible as well.
I'll pop in and out of that one because I do think that one's kind of expensive.
Yes.
Well, if you added up all the subscriptions that we like, you could really get carried away. So I'll pop in and out of that one.
So definitely love our books and love our subscriptions to be able to get books.
Yes. You have another one?
Do we want to mention World Watch?
Oh, you know we cannot do a homeschool YouTube video without mentioning World Watch. If you are not subscribing, you need to. It is also worth every single penny.
It is.
My kids, every single age in my homeschool family, they all love it. And so when you're able to produce a product that transcends all ages and everybody likes it, they do, the news, and then they do like fun segments, and it's probably one that I would not do without. Like, no way.
And it's fairly new for both of us. Probably the last year and a half, I think, that we started using it. So, and it's been around for a while, I think, several years, but we're new to it. But it's great. Just current events from an Christian worldview